We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
All right, we're going.
Hey guys, how's it going? TableBreakers, the 30th of December, and we have our 4-member panel here: Baron, G Rock, Kai, and Connell. Along with myself, man with a hand.
Do we actually have the live counter? I don't see it.
Yeah,
it's up in the corner.
It's up in the corner.
Oh, it is? Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. Now it's live. All right.
We're at the 30-second post. We're live.
Yeah.
So last session we were doing this. We were talking about what's a dungeon.
Yep.
And we kind of had some things pop up, and that led into tonight's session. What do you guys want to think? What do you guys want to discuss here?
We could continue on dungeons.
Oh, shoot.
What, Garrett?
Hold on. I think I fucked up.
No.
There we go. Now they can hear you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
There we go.
I am so sorry.
Hey, Max, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hello.
I don't have a problem continue talking about dungeons or.
No. I mean,
we had some unresolved issues last time.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say I haven't seen all you guys' videos, so I don't know exactly what all you covered. So
a lot of tangents. That's what we usually end up doing. A lot of tangents. But yeah,
I'm still on my hold. A dungeon is a carved out structure underneath something that you put prisoners that you have to go save or get something from. I'm sorry, I'm old school.
Nope. I'm just gonna hold my tongue down on that one for a bit. Can we settle for at least tonight changing the term just for tonight to enclosed location where we have adventures?
We could.
That's why some game shops are jokingly called the dungeon.
Right.
Yeah.
It is an adventure to go there sometimes.
Yeah, I also don't go in the back because that's just nope.
No,
that's not a dungeon. That's never mind.
Yeah, I know. No. Sorry, I like. Give me a little bit to get worked back up into where I was. The lack of sleep is catching up, so.
Okay.
Stop hanging out at the local dungeon. I got nothing.
You're right. You're right. No. No, actually, I'm sorry. I don't like. I need I almost need a rehash of where we left off.
Talking about dungeons.
Paladins, I remember that much.
Man, paladins. See, that's another huge argument I have with a couple of earlier this week too. Because I run 5e, and the other person we had on last week, Max, he's very much does second edition, older editions. I'm like, I know how paladins were in 3.5 and Pathfinder, and I know what paladins are in 5e, and they all have the paladin title, but not one paladin is the same to them. Well, the 5e and Pathfinder are basically the same. The 5th edition, you could be a paladin of Oath of Vengeance, where you go out and just smite evil just for the fact that it's evil, and you want redemption of some sort.
Yeah, this is true. You can do that.
And I still don't have anything wrong with setting a building on fire that have evil witches in it. I don't care what anybody says. They brought their own witch to fire.
All right, I just spammed the chat. Mr. Max Boyven wanted me to read something. As a game design concept, a dungeon is a self-contained series of challenges and encounters with a specific goal and clearly defined beginning and end. The actual location doesn't matter. You could be climbing a mage tower, diving down a mine taken by all kinds of nasties, or exploring an ancient city overrun by undeads. In a historical sense, a dungeon is not a dark and damp underground prison, The dungeon of a castle, from the French word donjon, was the keep where the Lord would live. There were underground prisons where hold on. Yikes. Okay. There were underground prisons, dark and damp and deep, called oubliettes, but they weren't complex networks of rooms and tunnels, just a small hole in the ground. Were people kept prisoner in a dungeon? Yes. Nobles who were to be sold for ransom were kept in a dungeon according to their station. They would swear on their honor not to escape, and their captor would treat them like guests until the ransom was paid. I even hearted that. I thought that was a good response.
All that and all you gave him was a heart?
That's all you really, that and thumbs up. So, and I'll just share from last week. Guys, it's going to get a little weird here.
Whoa. Is this the Matrix?
It's better than the Matrix.
Man, sitting and watching that movie was like being in a dungeon.
Oh.
Yeah, that was bad. Okay.
Savor sanity. There you go.
Like legit.
Oops. Let me just go to the channel.
You don't have to torture them. You have to torment them. That's how they, that's how we feed the internet.
Let's go to the channel.
You don't.
All right.
Discord, and I tend to write. Oh God, no! My own voice.
I remember reading. It was a splat book for 3.5. God. What could read with what? Humans can read with most things. No. And then they got down to dragons. And dragons can read with everything. I'm like, oh my God.
The worst that I saw was actually in 5e, where somebody showed that a Furbolg and a gnome had.
Okay. I don't know if that's exactly the comments that we want to pick off from.
Dear God, we were everywhere. Oh shit!
We went so shotgun on that, just scattered everywhere.
You can talk about the breeding rights of a dragon, sure. Why not?
No, God, no, no, fuck no.
I mean,
Happy New Year.
I have several players who'd be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'd be like, no, we've already gone over this. No.
nope.
The dragons do not have breeding rights. That's what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen.
Dragon comes up behind you. You're like, no.
I do not consent. I do not consent to this. I do not consent to this.
I do not consent.
That was a ranged touch. I didn't consent to. No.
God forbid if you run into one of those dragons from, was that Rick and Morty?
I haven't watched that since like season 2. So.
Oh, that's disappointing. That's a really good show. Well, I think it's all right.
My friends that like
Supernatural. Bruce didn't have it coming through correctly. It was coming through his speakers, so it was coming through really garbled. So I'm sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
Max is yelling about it.
I was unaware.
All the chance I can't follow.
Ouch.
What do you hear, Garrett?
He told me he's going to go watch the real channel now. Ow.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Wait, we have a real channel?
I have no idea what he's talking about. This is about as piecemeal as it gets.
We are a ramshackle operation here, so
we are. I don't even put my PayPal information in here because I really don't want it to succeed so much.
Oh, I've got all that now. I opened up my Patreon this week too, and I've got all that stuff's in my details now.
Okay.
Including a link to your channel.
Nice.
Hey, Miss.
There he is. Here now. Yeah, Screw Baron. That's funny. You're gonna get the same content over here as you would over there, but you're gonna have a different chat interaction.
Yes,
the main
where all
thing
the actual chat is over there.
we were discussing like various things that happen in dungeons where the nobles get captured, and we tangent on to paladins, and for some odd reason, we started to discuss like all the half breed that you can make your player character out of. And for some odd reason, we decided, yep, let's do a part 2 on this.
Because come on, random thoughts they work. So
Okay.
I mean, I have not ran. Okay, I have ran for the better part of 12 years now. I know, Bruce, you've probably ran longer. Kai, I'm sure you ran longer than I have, and G-Rock, I have no idea. So I'm between the four of us. I'm sure we have a bunch of stories of no, this is how it's supposed to be, or this is how it's supposed to be. And Dragon, please put that person down. No breeding rights for you.
Remember, do not interfere in the entirety of the business of dragons.
Because you are small and tasty with ketchup.
Yep.
Yes.
And sometimes with ranch.
That's not ranch.
We're in the Midwest. Ranch is required.
Yeah, this is true. Midwest dragons prefer ranch.
I'm more of a blue cheese person myself. I'm weird.
Well, you're weird.
And now I want ranch. I want with ranch on it. I don't know what.
I don't want to discuss the abomination that I'm eating for dinner tonight, but we had a combination of different mac and cheeses last night for taste test purposes.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Well, they have 2
You
store
didn't
brands.
send any this way either.
I'm sorry. I'll have to get
Asshole.
your P.O. box there, Garrett.
Bastard.
I'm still waiting for him to come back in town so he can make me another damn pizza. Because damn, Bruce, that was good.
Not
You
bad.
mean his bread roll?
His bread roll with crap on top. Oh yeah, that was amazing.
His loaf of bread. Itty bitty.
That I've refined it a little bit. It's gotten fluffier.
Okay, so now it's 2 loaves of bread.
It actually feels lighter, but I'll end with that. So we have a dungeon.
We have a dungeon.
We have a dungeon, and
Is it catered?
They're talking about notifications in chat. Should we tell them that those things that's kind of like what is something that you purchase as a side item but you never receive it? Because that's what notifications remind me of.
Marriage. Wait, no, sorry.
Sex with marriage, yes.
Wait. What are we talking about? Notifications?
People in my chat are talking about notifications.
Facebook doesn't actually, send out any. So,
Well, I was a reminder earlier today that this was going to happen tonight. Like I was set a reminder that mistings tomorrow. That was the only reminders I got.
So, a dungeon. Are we going to say that we only classify dungeons as underground testing areas? Okay.
No.
I just like the idea of you say it's a dungeon, and really it's just a flow chart that you designed. The terrain is window dressing with rules attached to it sometimes, and there's challenges that you must overcome.
Pretty much, because like if you get yourself trapped in the idea that it has to be one thing, you're just stuck in that one mentality. So it's like you got to at least broaden your options so that way you're a bit more creative as a storyteller. So as a GM.
And as a guy that I like hex crawls a lot of hex crawls. We could do hex crawls the rest of my days, and I'd be happy. I wouldn't ask for a different type of game.
You're talking like Kingmaker-ish crawls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kingdom Maker or Forbidden Lands or something.
Where you're making a world. Where you're traveling it, seeing it, and making the whole world. Why not?
I laugh when people say, no, we'll come back for this. Or
no,
we'll
it never.
For that. And they never do. No, the huge pile of gold, we can't get to it right now, but we'll be back. No, we won't. We'll forget about it.
Careful. You might have one player who is writing down everything, and he is. And when the party goes, we're broke, and he goes, oh, actually, no, I have a list here in my book, and I'm going to, and suddenly the party goes from being broke to way more money than they ever had because they went back and got all their shit back. But you need to have that one player who's actually putting effort in.
That one player.
Yup. And everyone forgets about it except for that one player who has a notebook that's like way bigger than everybody else's, and it's full. And you're like, what's written in there? Everything. And you're happy for that one player.
Actually, here recently, well, not recently, but the last several months, I'm rerunning Rise of the Rune Lord Pathfinder, and in one of the earlier encounters, you if you fight the goblins, and you find out that there's this great big giant crown. It's meant for a giant, but the thing is huge, right? And every time I ran it beforehand, everybody's like, we'll have to come back for it. We have to come back for it. And the pace of the story goes, you never go back. The party I'm running right now on my Monday games, they're like, nope, we're going to stay put until we figure out how to get it out. I'm like, wow, okay. Do we have to worry about goblins? No, because we killed each and every last one of them, including the babies. Like, oh, okay.
And Max, yes. As a former EVE Online player, I am a master at flowcharts and spreadsheets. And yes, papers and paychecks. It's like, if you're going to run I run something that's very large with lots of moving parts, you need to have all of it written down. You need to be able to read and follow a chart. It's not hard as a GM, and it's even easier as a player. But then again, I like paperwork. I like a lot of paperwork. I want documentation in like triplicate sometimes. That would be nice.
Blaine, do you ever use Hero Lab or any of the online or digital character tracking materials, or no?
I keep wanting to, but I'm too much of a traditional everything's written on paper person. So
I have a feeling this was a slide. I do. I use Hero Lab. I use Hero Lab. I have a bad case of, hey, there goes a scroll go by. Did I remember to write down the right number in the right place? So it keeps my character and me honest. It's like, no, I think I have like 30, not 30. Let's say I think I have 10 skill ranks in, perception. No, I'm sorry. I only have 8.
I do. I take online notes with my Word, my Apache Word processor, but I don't use the computer aside from that. Excuse me. I use World Anvil because that's a really good program. And if anybody here wants to use a digital online world building thing that will give you lots of integration, I finally found something better than RealmWorks, and that would be World Anvil. I think World Anvil is better.
I see adverts for that, but I guess this could be a hard transition from paper everywhere and binders full of material and a backpack that's just game notes to going pure digital. Like character sheets and NPCs, yes, digital, but everything else is all paper. So
yeah, and I agree. If I'm actually sitting at a table with people, I prefer the old way. But anymore, half the people I enjoy gaming with live in different states I do. Hell, Bruce, you live down in Texas. I got a group down in Tennessee that I enjoy immensely. I have a couple guys I hang out with in Germany that play. And it just use what I have, use the tools that I have. And if Hero Lab makes my life easier and no one's going to complain about it, so be it. It's not like it lets me cheat on anything.
That's true. But like I said, it's just the momentum of bureaucracy just prevents the upgrading. That's all.
Hello, LDG of Geeks Enjoy.
And since I mostly play with people who are also lovers of arcane bureaucracy, we all are horrifying at this. So
I don't have that in me. I mean, I take notes when I'm in like Bruce's campaign. I have a notebook that, outside of it says Bruce's campaign, don't lose schmuck, that I take notes for. But gaming, when I'm DMing, I have like 3 notebooks. Okay, this is what they're fighting. This is what they're getting, and this is what I'm doing to them.
Yeah.
So.
Now, in getting preparation for moving, I had to literally pack up all the old campaign binders that are all sitting currently in a box. So,
Blaine, what type of headset is that? I just now noticed that. I know you've been wearing a headset for probably 10 weeks.
let me check.
Okay.
The Afterglow AG9.
Okay. I'll have to look that up on the web.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gift. I very much liked it because somebody wanted me to actually speak online, so they bought me headsets.
Nice.
Yeah.
LDG of Geeks and Joy says, hello, Bruce. Awesome One says, Happy New Year, y'all. Thank you, gentlemen. Legion of Myth says, without the title stating schmuck, he'd probably lose it. It's an important part of that title. I love Max.
Know him well enough to fire back yet, but
Hey, Bruce, give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, Garrett. You remember before the stream, I had to have my own dispose time too. So, thank you.
No, I've got a major echo going on, and I can't track it down.
Probably me. That's usually how it works.
Schmuck is a very important part of the title. Like, I imagine with Max would be Earthdown.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Say it right.
Actually, no. Last week it was Earth Dong because of that's why I thought they said Earth Dong. I'm like, wait, what are you guys playing?
I'll play what they're playing.
It's like I don't know.
Earth Dong. That's great.
No.
Drink.
Drink.
No, he's not here. I'll wait.
Earth Dong.
He's here. Whenever he's here, if you mention Earth Dong, you have to have a drink.
I need to start packing a drink. That's all.
It's all right.
So where are you moving to, if I may ask, outside of that place?
Near Bradley.
Oh God! So you're actually in Peoria?
Yeah.
Holy!
I'm in the Heights right now. I'm just moving down towards Bradley. That's all.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. I figured. I don't know what I figured. But this is internet, and everybody can be from everywhere.
I'm from nowhere important. That's all that matters.
I live in Pekin. Talk about nowhere that matters. That's a dungeon. No, Illinois is a dungeon. No matter what you do, you can't get out.
It's Ravenloft.
Actually, I can say that it's possible to get out of Illinois.
Give it time, Bruce.
No, I'm pretty certain I'm not going back.
We all say that.
And then you wake up one day, and then there's the face of Pritzker going, "You're back. Pay your taxes."
Yeah. You're going to see a very fat man get attacked by a slightly smaller man.
What's was it the mascot of Bradley? I can't think of what it is.
Hey, at least we don't have Madigan anymore, so that's okay.
You know the bad thing about Illinois, and we're going to go into Illinois politics for just a few seconds, but when they shuffled off Blagojevich on his perp walk, he was not the only ex-Illinois governor in prison system at the time. There was 3 others. We had 4 total imprisoned governors at once.
Give it. I think that's just a requirement plan for being the governor of Illinois. You go straight to prison afterwards.
Yeah, it's 3 hots and a cot, you know.
Hey, that was my retirement plan before I had a kid.
Hey, you're not paying taxes in jail.
That is a pretty good point. Not quite worthy of my. Yeah, let me do this before I'm 50. No, I'm good.
What you do is you do something dumb enough to put you in the good prison, not the bad prison.
Well, that means you have to go federal, not state.
Yeah, and I'm not, with this being, I'm not giving anybody any ideas with the ideas I've had. So, the idea is to go to the good prison.
Earth
Weird.
Dawn, where quiet time with dwarves has a whole different meaning. They're going to bang the anvil a little bit. Hello, Sherry. Sherry with the pie behind her name. Hello, Sherry. She says, hello, Bruce Lombardo, Dick's Division. Thank you. We have some people that regularly rotate through. Thank you guys for showing up and enjoying our stream. Just 4 gentlemen that like talking about the gaming. And tonight's topic being what is a dungeon? That's not a topic that we're going to hold to ourselves and force ourselves to talk about that and only that. But
oh no, because tangents run everything. So
yeah, tangents kind of rule the world. I don't know how they managed to do the news without breaking into like, oh, there's this one story I have.
They have producers and they're paid better than us. That's how it works.
That and shot callers. I think
I
they
do
really
believe
have
that's a
shot
huge
callers.
chunk of it.
I don't want to come on here with a shot collars.
No.
That'd be bad.
They sell remote controlled ones. You can
No.
run over Bluetooth and or the internet.
No, I think the best thing we could do is turn this into something like for the holidays or whatever. Turn every time to a drink game every time we go off topic.
No, I got work in the morning.
Be drunk.
I'm calling in then.
I ain't got to work tomorrow, so I don't care.
I'm trying to debate if I want to call in tomorrow. That's all it comes down to. And Shocky Monkey sounds dies.
You know, whenever I saw Sherry's pie symbol behind her name, I got the Warrant song in my head.
You know, I was trying to let that go, Bruce. I was really trying to let that go. God, do you remember the music video to that song?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
You guys don't remember this probably because I didn't tell you, or you weren't there when I said it. But my father was the mayor of our small town my high school years.
Oh God!
So I was kind of under the microscope more than usual because I couldn't misbehave as hard as my friends were, and my friends were excellent at that. One of them was a guy by the name of Chad Gray, and he later in life moved up to Peoria with his aunt because his grandmother wasn't really helping him too much. I mean, she had ideas, and he didn't want to follow them. And so he went up to Peoria and he joined up with a group of people. They were musicians and they made a band called Mudvayne. I went to school with that guy.
I know Mudvayne. Not my type of music, but I know they're from this area.
Yep, they got famous up in Peoria, and he's actually from my hometown. That and the guitarist from Jars of Clay. But we were under the microscope. For being a 300-person town, there's a lot of gossip there.
Man, you know, for Peoria Peoria over its existence has produced some really interesting things: bands, whiskey, moonshine from time to time. Now it's meth, but you know, it's produced some very interesting things.
Well, we put all those people in Pekin. Oops, sorry, bud.
Explosions happen.
You know, the good thing is I haven't heard of an exploding microwave in Pekin in a long time.
No. There was a fire sometime last week, but it was electrical, not meth.
Disappointment.
I know. I lost $20.
Oh, so anyway, we were back on dungeons.
Yes. And while we're on the topic of dungeons, I want to ask Kai.
Yes.
When you run a dungeon, when you run a game,
yes,
do you map out your dungeon or do you just have a flow chart of the things that will happen?
Depends honestly on what I kind of am trying to shoot for. If it's meant to be more like an Ocean's 11 / or where timing is important, maps are very much going to be drawn, written out. People put in the right rooms. Encounters are all planned. If it's meant to be more, they're just trying to have a general adventure. The flow chart will be much more likely to be pulled out, because if it's not time critical flowchart, time critical map. Because when you have I've been in groups where they literally have catered the dungeon, and at that point, it's like, okay, this is getting kind of silly. They don't really need to know every last 5-foot square in the entire place because obviously they're not paying attention to it enough. And I wasn't running those. I was in the party with those people, and the GM's not giving a crud, so that kind of tells me where that if effort put in is what effort you get out of it. So I guess that's really what it comes down to. Is like I would like to say would like to map out everything, but then sometimes when the entire dungeon might be you enter onto a swamp-filled island. There's not very many paths through it. Do you really want to map out where every tree is on the entire island as you're trying to hunt down something and go find a lost hidden bunker? No, you really don't need to worry about that. So,
what if it's a tree that you're trying to hunt down? Then yes, you need a map of every tree.
Ooh, yeah. If I am so crazy to go hunt down a mangrove treant in a mangrove forest on a mangrove island, dear God, what have I done to myself, and why am I running that? But if that's the plan, sure. But I had to have made the conscious choice to do that.
No plans, only agendas. Plans fail.
You're right.
I have yet to see somebody make a plan in games I've been in, games I've DM'd. We're like, this is a plan. We're sticking to the plan.
No.
5 seconds into the plan, it goes to shit.
Oh yeah, plans only last until the first contact with the enemy. Anyway.
Yeah.
Mangroves, are they a swamp-bound item?
Yeah, they're kind of a marsh tree that had like with a really, really wide, horrifying root system. Really hard to get around in. They're fun, but really hard to get around in.
I've gone to Florida a few times, and I've actually seen mango, what you guys are describing. It's kind of floating out in the middle of the ocean because somebody was trying to dig around it or do something. And next thing you know, like a great big small island where Gilligan and the captain and all the other people are on saying we're screwed. Just floating out in the ocean.
Wait. The hat here. Let me get a little closer there.
That is a very nice hat.
Ooh, nice hat.
I can thank my wife for that. Let's see. There we go. Get my Turnberg shirt.
Mangrove and these swamps.
Look, the island I was trying to talk about was in a murky estuary at the end of a major river. So, yeah, it wasn't really a true island. It's just that you're in a tributary of a massive delta. So, yeah, I'm not mapping the entire mountain.
This right here, this quote: "I'm a mangrove treant in a mangrove world." That for some odd reason, I'm thinking there should be like Grace Kelly dancing. With there should be some sort of like dance number going on with that. Maybe
and the mangrove treant is Fred Astaire.
No, it's a Jim Buffett. It's a Jim Buffett video. Jimmy Buffett video. He's trying to eat a hamburger.
Oh, Jimmy Buffett, no.
I'm so happy he didn't go vegan. That's all I can say.
Yeah, cheeseburgers and pears would suck. It was veggie.
Yeah.
So.
Why would Grace Kelly dance to a Barbie Girl spoof? You know, I'm okay with it. I didn't say it was high art, Shadzar. I just said it was. For some odd reason, I could see Grace Kelly and maybe an animated Jerry dancing along. Material world.
Oh, Baby Groot.
Baby
Kelly
Groot.
and Baby Groot. Yep. Totes see it. Totes can see it.
Okay. So whenever we have, like, say, a situation where if Blaine's running, you probably you're going along your flow chart. You've got your ideas for how you want the party to proceed, but you're not really forcing them along any particular path in the dungeon. You want them to feel like you are.
Because honestly, it's all a big illusion. I mean, it really is, because it's like I know once combat comes out, yeah, maps are coming out, going to draw out the general area, because honestly, to most people, I don't know. I don't run off of a digital tabletop where I can just throw a digital map down that has all these really cool pictures. I have a vinyl map and a wet erase marker, and so for most people, a 20 by 40 square room is a room. It's just going to be a mark of green or black ink on a map, and I draw a circle saying tree trunk, acid pit, spike trap. This is a storefront. I can run a Wild West, like you erase, redraw it. Now you're having a Wild West shootout on it. So as far as most of them concerned, your descriptions mean more than knowing where every little rock is, unless you got a player who goes, no, I need to know where every little rock is. And at that point, you start.
Damn it!
What?
No, but that's what I would reply. Wait, I need to know where every little rock is. God, really?
God damn you. But, there's some players who, well, my character's all about telekinesis, so I pick up rocks and throw them at people, so I need to know where all the rocks are. And here's me. Okay. All right.
But is there, to quote another person, some of us know, is the rules allowing for you to pick up that rock? Is it the right percentile die size? I mean, if it is a D4, is it 2D6s? I mean, should I throw odds or evens on what side the rocket hits you?
You know what? Sure. Yeah, let's go with this number. Let's start.
I won't give Kai a heart attack.
Oh, no, because I've had these people, and the answer that laughter of, oh, sure. Okay, let me waste everybody else's time for the next half hour describing you every rock. And then you can make your rock throwing spell skill. Yay! I feel special. Yeah, you do feel
and the
special.
last question
don't
is
you?
to that, and somebody else at the tables, does that person have the right feet for throwing that rock?
Oh my God! Yes, you do. Obviously you do, because you found it out of book. I don't care. And on page,
Wait.
I don't know. You looked at the
Hold
wiki,
on.
so
Hold on, let me tear my sleeve off. Look, I've got a sling.
yeah. And then when I go, where the hell did you find that? And then they go, well, I found it on the wiki. No. That's not how this works. And this is the best part, is that when you have somebody else who's like, who, like, we're used to having our sources challenged and being able to source and then defend our choices, and then be able to go, no, you can't just look at the wiki and go find an answer. You need to actually go look at the book. Well, I don't have the book. That's not our problem. That's yours. If you're going but the program says I can have it. I know Path Builder or whatever computer program you have tells you everything you need to know, but do the homework. Know where it came from, so that way when we challenge you. And they're like, well, can we do that to you? And I'm like, yes, because if you think I'm pulling bullshit out of my ass, I guarantee you I have my sources already written down. Why? Because I'm used to dealing with rules lawyers who are like, no, you can't do that. No, wrong, actually. It's an advanced player's handbook. It's an advanced combat and tactics, blah, 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 blah. Pull out the right book and then open the page and go, this is the rule. And then have everyone go, oh, you actually read the rules. I'm like, yeah, I can actually read the rules.
This
Unlike
is why
some
a lot of
people,
stay
I
away
can-
from Pathfinder.
You had this same thing was happening in D&D 3rd.
What system
And
do you prefer to run?
which was that?
What system do you prefer to run?
West End Game Star Wars D6.
Okay.
The most basic and easy to run system I've ever touched.
Traveler.
Seriously. No, Star Wars D6 I think is far
Is the
superior.
best. Is the best game. It's fun, but because D&D is. I'm sorry. adventure. Underground locations and giant lizards that breathe fire is a wonderful game system, and is omnipresent. It's an omnipresent system. You deal with it.
I personally, very few
Matthew, I'm
times.
the game master. Yes.
There's very few times I found myself sitting at a table where it does not have at least one person there that has a law degree in all things Pathfinder.
You know, that was one thing I noticed up in Peoria. I had a lot of professionals at our tables. Our tables were so fucking stocked with master's degrees and people that had hundreds of thousands of college debt. Or they were an 05 or an 04, and they were just accustomed to the rules. I said so. That was just something that you dealt with all the time.
Yeah, and I think that scars the hell out of me on why I run the way I do, because I'm used to dealing with people who like. So you have a master's degree in how many things? Oh shit. Okay. You actually do have a higher. Okay. And so like when you start dealing with those kind of people, it affects how you think and how you run, and it makes it hard to go back down to when I go play with other people, and it's just like, God, you guys are so refreshing because you're so simple, and it's nice because I don't have to understand nuclear fucking engineering to be able to explain how the dungeon works.
Oh, no. Worst was and as a layman, as a tradesman who's very apt at describing how things work at a middle school level to people, it pains me to play D&D or any system with any moving parts with a failed engineer. And you know the corporation that we blame for that starts with a C, ends with an R. So,
Yep.
Yeah, that company right there ruined more gaming tables around the Peoria Heights, Peoria, Washington than anywhere else that I know of, because they would force these kids into an ideological state to where they could not accept things that weren't permissible by their physics teachings. And yet, whenever you ran a game, you had to abide by all the laws of logic. You could never say it's magic. You had to explain it, chapter and verse. You had to break out blueprints. You had to show them protractors, and you had to get out your lambda credentials in order to be able to pass that.
The other thing with that also split up a lot of tables, because they either A, lost the job, B, they got transferred to a different place.
Yeah.
There was other components in there too.
I will say that it's my jobs in Illinois were not as steady as what I have down here, and I've worked in the oil field in Texas, which that is a very touchy subject, because it one day your barrel price is at $50 or $60. $60 is great because that's where the banks in Dallas and Fort Worth and Houston will open up their coffers to mom and pop shops that have a written plan for how to make this money back that they're going to get on the loan. But then a month or two goes by and somebody in the Middle East gets butthurt, or a prince in Saudi Arabia suddenly has a fatwa against him, and the barrel just drops to $19 a piece. And so you're out of a job. That nothing you can do to stop it. You're done. Human Resources loves you. Apply with us whenever the barrel goes back up again. And I don't have to worry about that now because I'm a tradesy, but it felt like in Illinois it was a lot more difficult to keep a job.
Yeah. One comment from my chat is, so many of my notes, and this comes from my wife, so many of the notes on character sheet tend to be page numbers or book references.
Yeah,
that's going back to what we were talking about of, back it up. Where did you get this from? Where did this come from? But also, it's also for you to look up going, okay, I usually do that with spells. So it's like, okay, what page is that spell on? Just so I can make sure that, Because when it comes back around to me, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Right.
See, I prefer my players to have the books that they're playing now, especially in Pathfinder. If you're playing a character that is based off core and ultimate magic, then I at least want you to have those 2 books or what variation.
Will you accept PDFs? Because most of us have gone digital just for sheer affordability and transportation rights. Because I don't want a forklift anymore to be able to move my gaming books.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
you mean like I used to come into the game room with
With your
bag full of books going thud.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not getting any damn younger. Carrying around a small ton of books is not helping my back any.
Yeah,
speak for yourself. I'm getting younger every day.
I don't want to pull my A-frame backpack out and go, "This is where all my gaming books are in," and have to heft that fucker and carry it in. No,
I'm fine with PDFs. The other thing is I'm fine with Hero Labs. Hero Labs doesn't pull it from random websites. You have to buy said books. You have to buy the PDF.
Not necessarily.
That's my one problem. That's my
because the thing is that the in Hero Labs, yes, you have to buy the books, but there's also third-party books in there that they can get.
Then you just don't allow those.
See, my one problem I have with
that's the thing is if they already have it on there, you're not going to be able to say yes or no. Because then you're going to be like, oh, now then they have to go back, spend another 20 minutes pulling all that crap off.
That's why you have everybody, sorry for talking over you, Kai, but that's why you have anybody that does this say, hey, let me see your character up front. Then when we level, hey, you're using Hero Labs. These are the books that are approved. Let me know. Let me see your character once you level, so there is no shenanigans. You have to, some players, you kind of have to keep a thumb on them.
You do. But I think my one problem I have with Hero Labs is the idea of I've already bought the book. I've already paid between $20 to
$40,
$20 to $50 dollars for a book, and then to go pay some dick smoking company who's making me a computer aid money so I can buy a module to go plug it into their program so I can use the book I already own. And at that point, I'm just like, eat a dick, eat a bag of dicks, eat a whole sandwich of dicks. You ain't getting money out of me. And everyone goes, but Hero Lab is such a good program. I know it's a good program, but I don't want to rebuy, and then rebuy again because God help you if you're using D&D 5th Edition's Dungeons and Dragons Beyond program. Fuck that thing.
You know, the trick is with the Beyond system is have a buddy who already has all the damn books and have him DM the game so you're using all his books and have somebody else run the game. There's always a way around.
Hold on.
I don't want to spend fucking money. I don't want to give WotC money 3 or 4 times for the same shit I already own.
Yeah, no, I get you. I really do.
Well, and the other thing is you have to realize is that with that D&D Next or whatever the hell it is, the online thing, is that when you have those, they automatically update anytime they errata anything, or they change things like, you know, the phylactery is no longer a phylactery or whatever the hell
it's
else.
A chemical.
Woke bullshit that they decide they want to roll out with. Oh, everybody is we're not going to do alignments because blah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wait. Are we diverting onto the restreams that have happened this year for Dungeons and Dragons? Are we diverting?
Oh, we're not diverting. We're following the flow of fucking bullshit. So
yeah. We're following the flow of shit, and we just hit the bottom.
Oh my God! As a septic
and I will stand by that. And everyone who wants to sit back and pray to the altar of the almighty Gygax, play the game that Gygax actually produced.
Oh
no.
My God. I'm telling you that Condor is part of JSG. When JSG takes his shirt off, Condor sticks his head out of his belly and starts talking, and JSG puts his arms down. He loses consciousness. I'm telling you.
Well, here's my thing, is that I have seen more and more of the. I almost want to go with a Stargate reference. The priors of Gygax.
Ooh. Are we going Orion now?
Oh, we're going full Ori with that.
Oh God, yes. No.
The priors of Gygax coming out telling us what we're doing wrong when they haven't even played a module, played a system that actually Gygax touched.
You know, there were more people. There were a lot more people than just those two people.
I understand, but that's the one that they set up there, on their pedestal and everything.
I know.
Else. And truthfully, if you want to back that, you want to be a prior for the almighty Gygax, I completely understand. But if you're going to do that, you should play only things that he actually touched and
that would include Castles and Crusades, right?
That would.
Open your mind, Quaid. Open your mind.
At least you're quoting the good version of that movie.
Yes.
There's only one movie for Total Recall, and that was in 89. That was it.
Get down. Get to the chopper. Oh, you didn't say that in that one. Never mind.
No, I'm Jessica, whatever her name is better looking than Stone.
Whoa, hold on here. There's like a generation between those two. We cannot judge them accurately.
Yeah, I think you can.
I like blondes better, but Jessica Biel just has that rump. I'm going to be a total pig when I say that. That's the only reason why I like Jessica Biel. She has the perfect bum. I thought it was the girl from Terminator 3. Nope, Jessica Biel came out later, and holy shit.
Terminator. Oh, okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, we've totally derailed now.
Good.
We've turned certain people into priors of the Ori in the name of Gygax, and yeah.
Hey, look, we're
Max, we are use that.
We are dodging the bullet that we. No, we're good. We're good.
So yeah, when it comes, I'm going to kind of go back on track now. When I'm putting together like a dungeon, typically I will put it. I don't map it out at all. It all comes from whatever I think. Okay, this sounds like this could be interesting, and I'll draw it out as they're going along. I don't even have an end point for it. So it could be like 2 rooms. It could be 30 rooms by the time we get done with it. It just depends on how I'm feeling.
Is she 18 yet? Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's 18. She's over the age of 18 by at least a decade by now. When drawing out maps, especially for dungeons, I find myself drawing out malls half the time, Northwoods Mall or the high school I went to for a dungeon. That's just how my brain works.
No, those are for zombie attacks.
they
also
work.
Valid.
There are hallways with rooms off to the side that no one wants to be at.
If you can find a map to St. Francis, it's a wonderful dungeon.
Well, it depends on which part, the old part or the new part.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially if you get down into the old tunnels underneath of it that don't even have modern lights, and they're just kind of like light bulbs hanging from wires.
Yeah.
Or the underneath where the bars, most of the bars were, where they had the tunnel down to the riverfront.
Yup.
How these
if I am like I said last week, if I'm doing like a maze or a labyrinth, I'll use those titles from Wrath of Charlon or whatever. I'll just let the players place down the tiles. And if it goes left, right, or center, that's the direction they go. Pre-made, it's a map that works itself.
Or have them roll a D4 and then they pick up a random tile.
At that point, you're not really the dungeon master, you're just the ref at that point. So
no, because you're actually they're putting it together. So it's as if they have no idea how it's going to be.
Fair enough.
So you know that because you've looked at the tiles that are out there, and you know that X, Y, and Z tiles are going to have their encounters on them.
You're right. Yeah, it's like every, what was it? I had a chart for this one, and this is one of the few, not one of the few, but I was prepared for it. No, I don't need to talk to anybody. I'm good. Where 4 tiles in, they're going to run into, then roll dice and look on the page. All right, it was a 15. They are fighting skeletons. Roll, a D6. They are fighting 5 skeletons. Then so forth and so on until, I think they got far enough into the labyrinth where you see the one, the bottom one that says home. Like, that's normally when, either the beginning or the end. And when I do that, it's basically not to so much to drive the story, but just for them to go through the resources and realize that sometimes they need to run. Sometimes they just have to push, or other times they just have to push through. There is no rest.
Players never run. They're dumb. They do not realize death is coming. They don't run.
There's a vampire beholder down there. You can't put one of those against us. Oh, yes, I can.
Here, let me take this squirrel and let me throw every template on it, and then you're fighting it.
In Wales, they've been having that squirrel.
Here's a magical door. You have 3 doors, but if you can only open up one, where did the other 2 go? I don't know. You just have to open the door that leads to the what's that creature that everybody bitches about, and I've never seen in any campaign.
You die.
Yeah, Trass. Yeah.
No. See, I totally threw off because I had such a good bluff check in one game. I rolled it and made it, and I go, oh yeah, because I was playing kind of this from the mountain type, and oh yeah. Everything was fine until about 2 years ago. Pack of Taras come through. Was not good. And then DM, roll for that, and I did. And she goes, well, she believes you, but she's still skeptical. And I'm like, oh no, Pack of Taras. Yeah, there can only ever be one. And I that's the thing. I want a Pack of Taras because that would be amazing. Just to throw out there.
I think it would be fun.
Because I'm that asshole.
Like I said, I get the stats where I'm half tempted to buy one of the figs for. I have a guy who does 3D printing is going to print out Taras. I'm like, okay. Just to have it, I guess.
Yeah.
And take out the shelf and go, this could eat you one day, and then you put it back on the shelf because every player knows you're not actually going to throw a CR kill us all monster at us. Thank you.
Well, no, because all campaigns have to stop at 15th level now. Oh, you can't run the past you can't run a game past 15 level because there is nothing in the book that can kill us once we're at 15th level. Mike, really? Okay. Ding ding.
I never played with Mythic. I looked at it.
Ugh.
I know. Here's the groaners from the Pathfinder crowd. I played in a friend's campaign for that Mythic campaign where you fight demons, and I think I played
Righteous
3. Yeah, I played like 3 issues, and it was pretty horrible. And I bought Legendary Games 3 book volume set where they fixed Mythic according to them, and I have never opened those books.
Well,
ever.
The problem with, the entire time I was in that campaign, Wrath of the Righteous, we need to find ways to help our city. We need to find ways to bring money into our city. I'm like, hey, let's open up a whorehouse. No, we can't do that. I'm like,
Why not?
not?
Campaign. Oh.
Was it Texas?
Hey, whorehouses paid for a lot of different things back in the good old days.
Very much so.
Now, I will say that if you're running a game and your characters want to go up to 20th or over 20th level, I think there's a few books out there. One of them is Chronicle of Legends. And I'm talking about Pathfinder, not 5e. I don't talk about 5e. I don't play that game. I play Pathfinder in 3.5, 3.0. I like 3.x. But Pathfinder has a really good mentality behind their system. And the last book they put out for it was they talk about 20th level characters that were in one class. And at every class, 20th level, that book details a capstone. Do you gentlemen know what I'm talking about?
I know what capstones are, but yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I remember Epic out of 3.5, but no, not for Pathfinder.
Darth Theik says, I killed a 20th level character. It's not that hard. And Shadzar's like, it's pretty easy. It just takes a paper shredder.
Yes. I can't tell you how often that, since I require paper, that players go, I lost my character. I'm like, start rebuilding. I don't know. I don't know what's on that character sheet anymore.
Well, that's the one thing.
Not my problem.
I don't have the excuse. I'm sorry, I lost my character. Don't you have Hero Labs? Yeah. Hold on, give me a second to pull it up. I don't want to play it anymore. Well,
Man, it's convenient you lost your character sheet. I'm so sorry. Start re-rolling.
I lost my tablet. Wait, what? Yeah.
Grab these 3d6 and write down the following ability story.
No, if I wanted to kill a party, I would not use a trash. I would actually use this big bitch. Just because it's an ancient red dragon. And why not? Poof, there goes Toaster.
Darth Theik loves the Shadzar idea of the paper shredder. Optimus says, you're going to fight 56 fully grown ancient dragons, the side dish of one, and third beholder lich. Now are you? And then the only thing better than plot armor is a plot bullet.
Yes.
I kind of like that idea. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so.
Okay, I've got a question for you guys.
All
How
right.
long should a campaign run? To the natural end of it? Till you get tired of it? Or do you cap out at a certain level? Because paperwork.
Well, it depends. Are you going to just put it on hiatus and come back? Or are you just going to completely stop?
If I'm going to run a high from 1 to, let's say, 20, it's going to be a straight go, 1 through 20. There's going to be no hiatus. It's just going to run until it's done.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that is up to the DM. The thing is the DM has to keep the players invested.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. If the players aren't invested, they're going to start, playing on their tablets. They're going to start doing other crap. And then that's when you need to reevaluate going, okay, what am I not doing right here? Or that's when you just say, screw it. Here's a dragon. They have choices. They can either run or fight and die.
Man, dragons are just like the end all be all of, you know what? Fuck you. Here's a dragon. And all a Terrask is a big, it's Bowser. Go.
Yeah. And the thing is that what a lot of DMs don't realize, even with a dungeon, is that if the players go into it, they always have, the players don't even realize this, because I don't think it's been, really, it's not talked about, is that the players have the option to run. The players have an option to leave and not even mess with it.
Right. Well, I think that would be considered a natural end. If the party as a whole says this is something we're just not getting paid enough or whatever to do, that is just a natural end to that story.
Oh, well, here's the thing. You could also do it. Okay, if we're not going to be doing that anymore, then hey, well, you got to go back and tell the guy, hey, we ain't doing the job. Sorry, you got to find somebody else.
Here's your money.
Well, no, not even that. Then you have all kinds of things. So let's say it's a lord or something like that. Oh, well, you besmirched me and did not complete the task that you said you would. They throw them in jail, or they behead them all, or whatever.
Yeah,
there's several ways that you can deal with that. You don't necessarily have to kill them to end the campaign. If they're locked in jail forever until they rot, then yeah.
They were back in the dungeon and they have to do a jail escape.
The thing here is well, I'll let you jump in on this one. Is for your question of campaigns when they end, it can literally just be simply the party, because unless you because it. I'm gonna go back to my idea that it is give and take, where the players they can choose to decide to go, you know what, I think I'm content now. And suddenly when you have only one person who's like, my character still has goals, and the rest of the party goes, yeah, but we won't support those goals. At that point, it's like, all right, so does anyone because if you've been playing a good enough campaign where they have well, I have money, I have followers, I have a significant other, I have land and holdings. You know what? I don't feel like going off into the kingdom of dark and evil Stan over there and mucking about, because well, the Dark Lord will still be there in 20 years, and he's not going to invade. So fuck it, I ain't going. And suddenly your game goes from being so. I don't go out with a campaign going, this game's going to run from first level to 20th. I'm like, it's going to run till first level till when the story says everyone goes, you know, I'm okay establishing the kingdom of I'm the kingdom of France. I'm my work here is done. I'm going to go have a family now. Bye. And then they go off, and so unless you go, well, I still want to have your abuse, and when some players go, but my character's tired. I don't, and then you make new characters, and then you just go pick up the next generation. It's like, so the old guys got tired. Make new characters, go, and suddenly you have new, fresh faces running around, and but now you're in the shadow of the old players, and every once in a while you go, oh hey, these players are burning down a village. What do you do? That's my fucking village, and so suddenly the old players become the bad guys, and now you got to deal with those guys, or simply, or the players go running in and going, "Hey, rich old player, do you give me all your shit?" And the old guy, "Fuck no, that's my shit. You can't have that." But I'm the new hero. I have the new plot armor, and then the old hero goes, "No, that's not how this works." Well, can you help me? No, that's not how this works, And you're right. The game does not end until my plan falls into place. That's true. But sometimes, and when you have players who realize that's how the game works, they game the system themselves, because they realize, well, the GM will keep throwing plots at us, but he gives us 5-6 year interludes between each major arc. Okay, and suddenly it becomes this whole new thing. So I don't really go in with this idea of this game ends at 20th level when you go fight the fairy queen of Oblivion or the grand dragon of time. No, not every game has to end with the epic fight between you and an existential crisis that's going to destroy the universe.
Wait, what? What's going on?
What was that?
What?
No, go ahead. Which thing did I say that caught your attention?
You might have a peaceful resolution to the campaign.
Yeah, Numerous. There are many times when players go, yeah, you know what? I have built the kingdom of it's my empire. Fuck everyone else. Well, are you going to go on a brutal campaign of conquest? No, I'm going to stop my external expansion and then focus on internal infrastructure and development and restore and lower my taxes once I've done. But I'm a benevolent leader, and for the next 30 years as I'm in charge, I'm going to be a benevolent leader until you're assassinated. Well, when I die, that's not my problem. I'm like, okay, and the party is your ruling council, right? Yes. Who's going to let this plan work? Oh no, we're totally on board with the idea of actually having a non-corrupt, functioning government. Okay. Okay. And suddenly it's like, okay, guys, we're jumping 30 years. What happened? Well, the previous generations died and retired, and now the young upstarts are now in charge of this massive economy that's running around. But they're going, man, we've been peaceful, and we haven't tried to rename the continent not Germany in 30 years. We should rename the continent not Germany again. And suddenly it's like, and then suddenly the story creates itself at that point. It's kind of actually fun. I'm going to build infrastructure and restore the empire. Wait, what? You can't do that. You can't be thoughtful and intelligent. That's forbidden. And the wizard, I'm building a tower in between reality. Bye, everybody. Whee! Hey, where'd the wizard go? No one knows.
Did anybody care? No.
No. No, the wizard and sorcerer decided to go off and go build. Go build their own setting with hookers and blackjack. They don't care about anyone else, and they're gone.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
joining their
I'll get
society.
my own hookers. Fuck the blackjack.
Yeah. But what was that?
I was just saying I would join that society.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's like, and suddenly you're like, well, it's been 50, and like it's been 50 years. It's been the reign of the last 3 good emperors. I think it's time for someone bad to show up. And externally, no. Internally, have any of you guys studied Rome? No. Read a book. Here you go, kids. Here's a history manual.
Yeah, for every was Marcus
Here's
Aurelius.
Caligula.
Was it for
And then-
every Marcus Aurelius? You have a Nero.
And
No,
then I'm.
No,
then I
here's
go-
Caligula.
It's like when you could pull out the great courses, history of ancient Rome on cassette, and you're like, look here, just read this. Like just listen to it. Wait, I gotta listen to it. It's about 12 hours long, and you'll learn a lot. If you want additional reading material, you just go to the bookshelf and start pulling off manuals and books and tomes and like, what's all this? Like guidebooks on how not to run an empire.
Yeah,
And
that's
like-
true too. This is the other thing too, is that usually real life will dictate the end of campaign more than anything. Job, school, family, and so on.
The plague.
That also does that also does factor into this too. That's
Yes.
something we haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can have an entire campaign where because of a major the holidays happen and suddenly you're off for 2 months and you come back and go, does anyone remember where we left off?
I've actually
You
yeah.
have that one person that opens the book going, the last thing we did was this.
And the really bad part is if the guy who has the notebook is gone that week because he's decided that he has the flu and can't make it. And so everyone
It's
goes,
just the cold.
oh no. He actually had legit flu that day. This was back in like 2016, so it was an actual flu. It wasn't the COVID cough. So
No, I was in a campaign. It's like November was about. I think Halloween just happened, and we played for like the first week of November. And the DM's like, "Yeah, with the holidays and everything, we're not playing until the beginning of the next year." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" There are days in a week that don't involve a holiday.
when family, once you start having kids, family ruins all plans.
I have a family. It hasn't stopped my gaming experience.
And you are right. Medieval fantasy tends to make people instantly towards literally everything being terrible, grim, dark. You're right, but sometimes you have that one player you have those 1 or 2 players who go, man, I really enjoy playing Crusader Kings and not having my empire fall apart. That's cool. And then I'm like, oh, I got plans for you now. But that's called having fun players. But there are some times where the player whose entire goal was, I'm going to become a master blacksmith and forge. Excalibur's wimpy. I want a bigger, better, more awesome Excalibur. I'm like, that's gonna be your life's work. That's your magnum opus. He goes, yup. And then he disappears for like the next 20 years because he's making the ultimate sword. And then like 2 campaigns later, someone goes like, whatever happened to that guy? He's still on his mountaintop forging the ultimate sword because crafting rules in D&D suck.
and he comes down with Cloud sword over his shoulder.
Behold this massive sword. It just controls the elements. How long did that take you? I am too old to wield this blade. I must find a hero worthy enough to carry this monstrosity. And the party, is that us? No, it's not you. But we're the players. No, you're not. No.
I'll make I'll make one of my characters that likes to throw things. I'll take that sword. Dun dun dun. Why is he throwing it around?
Look, I had a player do that. Literally was given the most coolest, like a major character died. Cool, awesome sword falls on the ground, and the player literally picks it up, runs over to a cliff, and then yeets it down the cliff face right into a zombie. And I'm like, and then the zombie goes tumbling down off a cliff and into the abyss, and the rest of the party's like, did you just throw? And he's like, yes, I did. And he's like, it was just a sword, right? No, that wasn't just a sword. The whole party, we're gonna go kill you. We're gonna like, how deep's that abyss? You don't see the bottom. We're going down. We're gonna go get that sword back. Why? And that player, why are you all angry at me?
That's what you put. From years of experience of playing that type of character, that's why you put rope on everything. You just drag it back.
He didn't have time. He just picked it up and then threw it.
Everything to your belt. Everything.
No. What you do is one of the players walks up to him and goes, "This is Sparta." Kicks him in and get the sword.
Pull him up, yeah.
Yeah, and it was one of those iconic moments. I look at and go, some players don't think. They just hear, it's a sword, I throw it. My character throws shit, I throw it. And we all just kind of went, oh, God, please. So, yes, players do just destroy amazing things just because they don't think more than 2 seconds ahead of where they're at.
The character I was playing was a straight fighter. No, he wasn't a straight fighter, but whatever. He was fighter something. And he had the feat, throw anything from Pathfinder. And he would be walking around weight-wise. He could do it because of how weight works in Pathfinder. I always kind of disagreed with. He's like, I have 2 great swords, a battle axe, and a handful of daggers. What are you going to do with that? I'm going to throw everything, then go get it and do it all over again. It works.
That's when he goes and starts getting everything enchanted with returning on it. So
yeah, I know.
It wasn't until the second time of making this character, it's like, in an episode of Supernatural, it's like, I really need to tie ropes to these things and attach the rope to my belt so I can just drag it back.
Someday you're going to encounter that one monster that just grabs you by the ropes and then beats you to death, against a wall. By the ropes, you tied yourself to yourself.
No, that's already happened. It was, what was it, Bruce? It was a tree monster.
Which one?
I was playing one of my throwers, and I was fighting a tree monster, and it had me over its goal, and I dumped Alchemist Fire down its gullet.
Yes.
And I'm like, I think I said that's one angry vagina or some smart ass remark.
That's the spicy burrito.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a Kingmaker.
I don't care what anybody says. That just sounds hot.
Yeah.
I mean, players do dumb things. The players, the characters that do things, and the players at the end of the night are looking at their character sheet, looking at everybody else because they're staring at them. It's like, you're an idiot, right? But I'm just playing the character. I'm not, I'm not like this in real life. It's like,
no. No.
I've known you for 20 years. You've been like this since day one. What the hell's wrong with you?
You have not learned much, have you? No. No, I stopped learning when I graduated high school. God damn it.
I stopped learning when I heard the first Leroy Jenkins. That's when I got off the bus. Wait, games can be played like this?
Man, back in vanilla. Shit. Okay. That's a
But
while
no.
ago.
You know,
No.
I was just reminded of when you get the portal gun in Portal. This weapon is worth more than all the assets of subject hometown name combined.
Yeah, but you just get cancer from it because of the moon radiation.
Yes.
But it's better than going into the box.
But that's what my character would do. That's right. That's right.
You know, back to the dungeon. Going back to the dungeon. Traps, monsters. Do you have are you more likely to run when you're running your campaign? I'm going to put X amount of these creatures or X amount of these amount of different creatures and these kind of traps too. I'm just going to pick up the monster manual, the bestiary, whatever creature book you have, and say, flip it, page 31, goblin dogs. Your guys are fighting a herd of goblin dogs. Why the hell is there a herd of goblin dogs in a dungeon? Why not? I'm the DM.
Don't ask questions. This is what's here.
Right.
The GM has spoken.
The important thing when it comes to traps is you need to ask yourself, is the ecology, like, who lives there and do they travel around? Because nobody traps the way between the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen.
Apparently, you've never been to my apartment because there's all kinds of traps between the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen.
Look, the one thought somebody had that it came up as a weird comment way back, like a long time ago. I was like, why is the Lich's the Lich's workshop like there's like a string of traps that would just like so this guy spends like, man, I need to go to my storeroom, and so he gets up, undoes like 4 traps to get through his hallway, undoes a door trap, undoors another trap so he can get into his pantry, pull out some magical items, reactivate all of his traps the whole way back, and then reset. Like, he's got 7 traps between his room and his storeroom.
No. See,
And that's what came with the lot.
What you don't know is he's got a button underneath the table. He just pushes.
Right.
That deactivates it all. He goes and gets the stuff and pushes it again.
No. You guys are overthinking it. He has a flying carpet. He just flies over the trap, flying flat on his back on the carpet.
But the thing here is that, but so you're dealing with some orc hordes war stronghold. It's like, do you put a bunch of traps between the main barracks and the eating hall? No, because you got like 80 people traveling 300 a day into that area. That hallway wouldn't be trapped because some idiot is going to walk one day, even if they all know it. Some guy who's in like, I'm just dead tired, I just want some fucking chow, and then he's gonna walk in there, and suddenly 45 boulders and a razor blade saw comes flying out of the walls, smashes that poor guy, and go, well, we're down to 38 guys. Let's go order another orc minion to be delivered.
God damn it, Joe.
The bathroom is a trap.
Oh, no. It's not. It's not. It's not that the toilet is the mimic.
That's how you
It's
feed
an
it.
SR of like 70.
Yeah, but so you put the traps where it would make sense to be, but just throwing it like a random no, it's like a heavily traveled area. Please don't trap that.
See, the best trap I've seen is that there was let's say like a 30-foot long, 5-foot, thing out, and there was a chest out there. And then there was a ledge over on the other side. So all the party members are like, okay, we're going to stand over here on the ledge. Rogue, go do your thing. Because then they're thinking, well, if he dies, we ain't going to be there. He sits there. He fails the trap. all of a sudden the row that he came on drops, the pathway drops. Then the wall just starts pushing all of the other heroes into the pit of spikes, and the rogue's fine.
Hey, Joe, take care of yourself, buddy.
Take
All
care.
right, buddy. And gnomes come out.
Yeah, but I guess that's just my attitude with trapping. It's like, yeah.
No, with trapping, what you do is you have the big bad guy saying, "I feel like I have to go to the bathroom," and then you see Vern Troyer's skeleton get up, and he wanders over, and he disarms like 3/4 of the traps, and he gets hit by a couple others because he's a skeleton. He's got 5 DR unless it's bludgeoning, so he's okay. And then the boss goes to the bathroom. And then whenever he has to go somewhere, he just declares where he's got to go, and Vern Troyer's skeleton wanders around and traps everything. And that's how you know in my games if there's like a heavily trapped area. If you find a skeleton of Vern Troyer beaten by traps.
See what you do is you get a bag of many things and you just start throwing rabbits and squirrels and
the bag of many animals, yeah.
A bag of tricks, a bag of something like that, yeah.
It's a bag of many things. I think like what is it, like copper or something like that.
That was the one of many things. I don't know.
There's a bag where you throw out like little animals.
Yeah, like squirrels, hedgehogs. You just throw those out down the hall, and they do what they say, and then they just disappear.
Yeah, random bullshit. Go.
Pretty much. You grab a hedgehog. I choose you.
Careful cases, random bullshit. Random bullshit. Go. No.
That's a gnome. Half.
Man, I don't know. I'm doing modules, so most of the monsters I'm running has already been programmed by the module, so I'm not really arguing with it too much unless it's like that makes, they could just walk right through that. I need to throw something in there that has a little extra meat.
Oh yeah, because every once in a while you play them where they would make sense or where it would be interesting, or when the party goes, we've been looking for a while. Then they start getting a little too suspicious because it's been too nice for too long, and there's that part that goes, no, we're about to get hit by something, and then you're like, well, do I play into their fears or not, or have they been too lax for too long, and that they're just, man, this has been too good. Let's just relax. And that's when you hit them. It's like, so it really is this, like, if all you do is just constantly hit them left and right, every 5 feet, every room, another trap, eventually they're going to get like so tired to the point where all they're going to do is, hey, rogues, go out there and play Minesweeper. And they're going out there with every 5 feet, putting a flag down, making sure everything's clear. And then, then they back away. Like, I think it's clear, 10-foot pulling it to make sure what's going on, and it's okay. And they're like throwing rocks and like, man, this was an adventure, but now it's just a gratuitous, slow drag where they're just taking 10 minutes, like every 10 feet, just because they don't want to die because you're death trap dungeoning this place to the point where Grimtooth's going, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Write that down. That's good. That's good.
That's good. Oh, the entire room is actually like a 3-axis gyroscope over a pit of whirling blades. That's perfect. And the party goes, yeah, let's.
They're checking the floor, but what they missed
is the ceiling and the walls.
Okay,
and you're like,
I see floor, I see walls, I see ceilings. Nope, one ceiling.
I think it's funny because I've done this myself, but it's like we need to take a short rest, especially on 5e. We need to take a short rest or something because I'm out of it. I need hit points because we've been doing this dungeon for the last 3 weeks, and I'm beat up. Then the DM's like, sure. Then all the monsters just hit the refresh button and restock.
Yeah.
No, that's what gnomes are for. You put the little spiked helmet like from World War I on their head, strap it on. You get the barbarian to like like a long dart, and if he lands, he's fine.
Halflings are for poisoning dragons. Gnomes are for finding traps.
See, I thought they were breeding traps for dragons because they can't. Never mind.
Well,
Can it
depends on what
dragon?
Depends on how horny the dragon is.
To what shape it takes. Holy crap.
And yeah, you do also have to worry about the price tag of traps. So when you realize that, like, wow, you spent like 1,000 gold on just trapping this dungeon. Yeah.
Well, that would be where you have like a wizard. A wizard's in a dungeon, and he's like, "I need to build more traps. Get me a teleport." And he opens up a teleport, and it goes to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, and he just throws like a black cloth over like a pallet of drywall or a drywall mud or plywood. He just tarps the shit out of it, and it's a portable hole. Wait, zoink! And now that place is out like $50,000 because they lost a bundle of 3/4-inch BC plywood. That would totally explain our reality right now.
Yeah, though I would love to think of it, some evil wizard teleporting at in front of a Home Depot and looking at the day workers out front and going, "I need you to help me build a dungeon." Okay, get the truck. And just pile on.
I actually read a book series. It was called NPCs, and basically the NPCs wound up becoming heroes, basically.
Kind of like Free Guy.
Yeah, a little bit. But the gnome paladin, actually the god that he worships is the gnome is a kobold, and he is also the god of of minions. And basically minions sit and build all these things for wizards and warrior and warlocks and everything else that are in these dungeons. But there's also, and this is one thing that I really liked with it, is that there's also secret tunnels underneath them for them to pass through fine. That's how they can get from one part of the dungeon to the other without setting off traps. It's big enough for kobolds and gnomes and stuff like that, which I always thought that was a really cool take on. Just for the simple fact of, because if you think about it, they're going to have minions who are going to build these traps for them. So they're going to need a way in and out and everything else. So I mean that's one thing that I really enjoyed about that, because it actually made me rethink, well, how are these dungeons with the traps and everything else like that actually put together?
Now Shadzar, I don't think, remember, you are getting the quality that what you pay for back. So if you want to hire a bunch of retarded kindergartners to dig all of your pits and put pointy shark sticks at the bottom of those pits, you're not getting, a top grade trap filled dungeon. You're literally paying, like I said, retarded kindergartners to build your traps.
But those retarded they can't do it. Those retarded kid haters need work too. It's helping the economy.
Look,
did you say Canadians?
Obviously,
I can't say it with a straight face.
But the thing here is that if all you're really wanting are pit traps, but do you really want to trust in goblin engineering to go build your whirling blade trap, your the very heavy weights suspended by ropes and on pressure plates? Do you really trust goblin engineering about that one? No, because you're like, all right, what I need you to do is, here's my complex Rube Goldberg machine that will kill the party. Okay, No, obviously, no, that's not what I want. No, fuck it. I'm buying my skins over down at Home Depot. This is what I'm just...
No, you need kobolds. Kobolds are the master trap builders. Every scrap book or anything that has how to make a perfect dungeon has like experts talk about kobolds.
Okay, that's because most people who are first starting and dealing with kobolds are like, wow, this is my first game. Kobolds, we're all about being devious little shits who build first level traps that are meant to kill first and third level party members. Yeah, there's a certain point though when the party gets to where the rogue is like, no, I'm actually better than this. And like, so unless you start giving levels to the kobolds, which is cool, that's always cool, and go have some fun, start being devious, and think to yourself, yeah, kobolds are engineering this. This is pretty good.
And all of a sudden, Pun comes out running.
Yeah, but and also and the goblins really are depending on which universe's version of goblins you're using. If you're using, WotC's version of goblins, they're all, like I said, retarded kindergartners. And if you are using, Paizo's goblins, they're retarded kindergartners who are sadistic and slightly more intelligent, but with more teeth. And but either way, you're dealing with the bottom. Unless you're going to make them interesting and intelligent, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel out here for those.
Well, here's the thing. Hold on, I need to address that one. That Darth just put in. Here's the issue, though. If a goblin can read, he's killed.
You're right.
He's taking the knowledge from the book.
Ooh,
in the book, but not the book.
It's like, and I know that part of this just comes as my just general, that realization that mostly I've had players who go, wait, who financed this dungeon? Well, it was built recently or old? And they start like backtracking and finding out, materials that were bought. Cause like, they'll go in and find out like, well, this was constructed within the last, when you had that one dwarf who goes, this was built in the last 30 or so years, which means the engineer is still probably around. And then they also leave, do research, build a base camp, come back, and then go, no, we've tracked down who made his saw blades, who made his traps, where his reagents have been coming from. And I'm like, wait, you guys have done like an entire corporate investigation. You guys want to do this to go find something? Yeah, we want to know what we're getting into. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Go for it. Backtrack everything.
My question is, how is that guy who designed the dungeon or whatever still alive? Because he was always the last person to get killed after the thing was built.
But the thing is that there's always even if he was killed designing it, so you can't find out the actual layout, but you can still track down friends, associates, families, contractors that he had worked with, people he had procured through, and they backtrack this all out to the point where I'm like going, okay, and then because they realize that I'm an Anno player, so therefore I'm like, no, there's an entire supply chain and supporting this entire monstrosity that all needs to be backtracked through, and then we can figure out where the money came from, and when they get to the point where can we just cut off the dungeon's money supply so that way they just can't continue to maintain their equipment? They might be able to keep running. Like, no, we're going into economic warfare now, and then they go wandering off, and I'm like, and so suddenly when you could draw the main villain of the dungeon out because his banks and investors go, yeah, someone's going after our assets, so you need to come out here and take care of problems, but that's just more creative. I
don't know how it's going to happen, but I got to find my ass at your table one of these years. Because that's more in depth than the shit I get.
That's literally what they did. I had a horrible encounter, and the party went, okay, so we're gonna backtrack. Okay, so they found out the alchemist who made the poisons, backtracked the suppliers for that. They found his main blacksmith who was doing all of his heavy iron forging, tracked down his investors, tracked down the people who were backing it, found the entire conspiracy out, never fought the actual villain, but they took out his entire support base through like just showing up there and going, "We'll buy you out, or we'll take over your operation." Like, we know you're working for an evil organization. Would you like to like work for somebody who's actually paying properly and will actually like provide benefits like dental and healthcare? And someone's like, "Can you also like pay for my house? We'll pay for your first 6 months of rent." Done.
Now I know it's fantasy. You're offering dental.
Right. Look, again, my players are the good. It is fantasy. They're being the good bosses that we would all like to be. That's the whole point of playing fantasy, is to be what doesn't actually exist.
What was that, Bruce?
No, I was just laughing over here.
And it's funny, when they actually drew the main villain out, they got him to come out, getting ready to fight him, and the villain's like, "This is my portfolio and my resume. Would you like to hire me?" But he's like, "Look, you've already stopped my super weapon. You've already stopped my invasion plans. I have no support, but I am a high-ranking management. I have management experience. Can I just hire on as a support a high-level exec in your organization?"
See,
and
I got William Dafoe in, what was that movie? Boondock Saints in my head when he's in that hotel room. This doesn't happen in real life. You know where you get this from bad movies. That's where no professionals do it this way.
Yeah, but the thing was it's like, so like I said, this, and when you have players who are just like, no, let's be logical about this, and then suddenly they, like the huge dungeon you've planned goes right out the window because they just choose not to go. And
Bruce, he brings up this concept I've never heard before: logical players.
I know. Pay no mind.
Maybe don't mind. I
get murder hobos, and he's got logical fucking players.
Look, in any group, you have an outlier, and you always throw the outlier out because it ruins the rest of the study. I am the outlier. Throw out my examples. They are not the norm.
I mean, I've definitely had a few DMs that are really burnt because all his games have turned into murder hobo campaigns, but that's the players, not the DM.
Right. And most of the games I'm in, are almost that I get to play in our murder hobo fest. But you just kind of go, that's what we do. But that's why I try to be different, because I want to actually go, this is the game I want. Please, someone else run this game. No. So, you have fun. You do what you can.
So yeah, the big hot topic after you saying that is the Christmas tree.
I thought it was goblins with brace dental plan.
Goblins with braces?
That tree is a temporary stand-in because I needed to have something for the holidays, and you know what? It's my Charlie Brown tree. It's the real one looks nice, but it's big. This apartment is tiny, so I have
Garrett,
that thing.
Garrett, we ought to turn that tree into a VTuber and just have it dub over Blaine.
We can do this. Okay. What you do is you put a mouth on it with a little piece of string, and when you talk, you just pull the string down a little bit. We'll put a couple of googly eyes on it. We're set.
God. So no, I mean,
every once in a while when you're like, you shake it just a little bit, just for the emphasis.
Watch all the needles come off and it gets naked. It's all bashful.
Nope, that's going back into a box, and it's just going to get stored in the closet and then come out again next year. So,
what is it always out of the closet with you people?
Storage.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Shadar asks, what's wrong with dungeon crawls and hex crawls?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just that your players do with whatever you throw at them. If your players I want to run with it, let them run with it. If they want to go off in a direction you've never even going to expect, let them run off in that direction. All you can do is put the bait out. They have to bite.
No, with the hex crawl, I have to say I enjoy hex crawl as a player. I don't know if I could put up with it as a DM, but it does offer a lot of different opportunities to find the treasure, to get killed, to become the hero of the day, and so forth and so on. I do appreciate that.
Shadzar's like, Fat Steven knows a guy that can make a tree for Blaine. Fat Steven Seagal is like, why are you throwing the dice at players? You could lose an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot your eye out.
You lose a die, eye. It doesn't work. Now, well, here's another thought of it. What about location? Is there anywhere, like most of us are from Peoria, is there anywhere that you've actually, for the ambulance or just being able to say, I ran here, is there anywhere in Peoria that any of you guys actually wanted to run or to sit at and game at?
No.
No?
I'll say that out of the Peoria places, I would say that the one place I would have liked to have ran at, I would have had to buy the bar for the day and ran there, and that would be the Brass Rail because I've seen a lot of music there. But I think the pub across the street from the game room would have been a lot better.
Oh, the one down, the one downstairs.
No, not that one. That one there's too rich for my blood. That's called the C Note Pub. No, not going there.
It's the one right across the street.
Oh, yeah. I've had a few beers there.
We had a few shots there.
Yeah. Was it shots? I've drank and slept since then.
It's only been a decade.
The thing here is that, I mean, after a while, when you're used to like running out of out the back of a Denny's every once in a while, because that's the only place that you get food. You can get food in GM at, or if you just end up at Kelleher's down the riverfront late night, and it's like we're just gonna go off to the back. We'll come up for beer periodically, and you just hang out, bullshit about the game, and roll some dice in the background. Well, you've gamed at Kelleher's. Congratulations.
Go for it.
Actually, Sullivan's is actually, they have a bunch of games up there, board games that you can actually.
I've been up there with you once. That was a really cool experience.
Sullivan's is nice, and the thing here is that honestly, when you're out gaming with friends, if you're out hanging out with your gaming group, or at least several members of it, everywhere you go is gaming. It really is.
That's fair. I was lucky enough to know not the current owner, but the previous owners of the. If you go on the Grandview Drive, the castle at the end of the lane.
Yeah.
The Hosseys, that was the former owners. I was lucky enough to know them. They both have passed away, but I've known them most of my life. And I was joked with the owner, Dave, who's like, I would love to run a campaign out of your house because it looked like a freaking dungeon. I mean, not dungeon, Jesus, a castle.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I've even was bored. They had an ice cream cruise at the on the Spirit of Peoria. Just literally told everyone, fuck it, guys, meet me all down here. We're gonna pay $10, and we're just gonna sit there and cruise and bitch about gaming on the paddle wheeler, and just traveled up and down the river and just bullshitting. Like, honestly, like when you have friends, and which should be what your group is, you really shouldn't hate them that you don't want to invite them to do fun stuff. It's going to naturally devolve into talking about bitching about gaming, and you're going to end up talking about shit. And I guarantee you, you ask gamers, hey, do any of you have dice? And somebody is going to pull out of their pocket one of those bags of micro dice or some other shit. Like, why do you have dice on you? Oh, and if you don't have dice, somebody's going to pull out their phone, download a dice roller app, and like, we got dice. And suddenly you're now playing.
My wife keeps at least one, if not two, full sets of dice in her purse.
And I've got dice in my travel, in my travel bag. So
yeah, these dice go with me almost anywhere I have my backpack, just in case, because you never know
when a game is going to break out.
Yeah.
Carmen would bring dice everywhere.
She still does.
Okay, nothing's changed.
No.
I mean, as I said, joking around, it's like a bunch of us. This was 20 years ago, and a bunch of us were hanging out at Perkins, and it's like, hey, you want to grab some food and roll some dice? Sure, let's roll. And the waitress is like, don't worry, we'll give you a big tip at the end.
And the thing here is that, and with certain late night bars, or restaurants, because they're diminishing now as time goes on. The all nighters, but if you're sitting there and you got people bitching about gaming, throwing some dice around, you're going to get somebody else at a different table who's going to poke their head around and go, "Hey, you guys talk about what are you guys talking about?" And then suddenly you find out, oh wait, there's another gaming group here. Okay, and then you start just making new connections. You literally just dice are just magical thing. Once you hear them roll across it, your ears perk up. You're like, oh fuck it, okay. And
I know that sound.
I know that sound.
The magic click clack rock.
And as soon as you hear math rocks, your brain goes, shh, guys, shut up. Listen to what they're talking about. And then you sit there and go, and then you get and then you poke your head and go, hey. You make friends and you go, hey, do you got an extra spot, an open slot at your table, in your game? Oh yeah. Then you suddenly, guess what? You found a new gaming group. Yay!
I love
accomplishment.
As much as ideally, as much as I like gaming with new people I don't know. I like getting that small set group that we meet every Friday or whatever. But every once in a while, I like to know at least one other person in that group where I don't know those people. So all the old jokes that we've all, all the fart and dig jokes that we tell each other, you hear new ones.
Right. And the fun part there is that who knows? You might because I've stumbled across walking into LARPer groups or you walk in and they're bullshitting, and all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, you've just walked into an SCA house meeting in the middle of the night where they're all just drinking, because they're all drunk, but they want food, and now you find yourself sitting out in the middle of a cold field, getting beaten on by wooden weapons because they thought it'd be fun to introduce you to the rest of the clan, and you're like, what's going on here? Oh, we're just showing you what we do for fun. It involved beating me with sticks? Yes.
That's kind of how I got it. I mean, college, I was looking for a side job. There was an ad to work at a Renaissance fair down Champaign. I'm like, why not? It's a Renaissance fair.
Oh.
Okay, that is not where I thought you were going with that. I thought the term $20 is $20 was going to come out of your mouth. All right?
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20. But that's besides the point. I'm working at the Renaissance fair. Next thing I know, the guy in the booth down from me is talking about 3.5 and how he likes to play that barbarian.
And now you got friends.
He knows two words, chocolate and booze. That's the only two common words he knows. Then somehow he's part of a Daggy here group, and I'm out in the middle of foam in the middle of summer getting beat on by foam weapons. 10 years later, we're all still friends. Those bastards.
Yep.
No. They need to do a couple more zeros.
That's a lot of zeros.
Bruce is up for $20. So yeah.
So a lot of zeros. There's just one point in there. Oh.
So with TableBreakers, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and we've hit a bunch of different topics. Main thing we hit tonight was the Peoria gaming scene is a lot different than other places.
Yeah, we're messed up.
Yeah, we are.
No.
And other cities occasionally will have this pop up where they'll have gaming groups go to Denny's, or they'll be playing in a bar. they'll actually take their books to the bar or be having the characters on books on phone. But you don't have that everywhere. And it's weird because that culture up in Peoria spoiled me really, really well. You can't
You know
do
what they
that
say.
down here.
You know what they say, if it plays in Peoria.
It plays in it. Yeah, that's.
We are a weird community.
Well, most of us are. I mean, I'm definitely not an engineer, but most of the people that come to Peoria more is because of that one place that starts with a C, ends up with fuck that and you, and I'm out.
That's how we all work.
I've got to try this. Sorry.
Oh, no.
A lot of times, like at Perkins, the actual game of choice was like Magic.
Magic was the easiest thing to just put away when the food came or whatever. I mean,
I need a Waffle House in Peoria. God damn it!
Yeah. I love Waffle
You guys
House.
have Perkins and Denny's, and those are almost as good.
No,
Your
but
coffee-
Waffle House is like right up there with Shoney's. Like you walk in there knowing that like 5 a.m. You know that guy who's just sitting there looking at you like, please don't come in here. Like look, I don't give a shit. Serve me at whatever rate you want. I'm here at Waffle House at 4 a.m. Fuck it, I ain't trying to go anywhere.
If I had the money, I know it's a franchise. If I had the money, I'd definitely open up one here because I know it'd make money.
See, you'd have to put it on.
Make money.
You'd have to put it on 55 or 57 for it to really make the coin it deserves.
No.
74.
No. University right next to Bradley. All those college kids.
I don't know. Waffle houses are like need to be like, you need that horrible yellow block sign that hangs there over the road, so that way truckers and people who are traveling can just go, fuck it, I'm hungry, and pull off the road.
I understand what you're thinking, and I really do understand what you're thinking. But there's a Waffle House right next to the main college in Nashville, Vanderbilt, and they make money hand over fist because of those college kids.
True. God, it's been a while since I've been at a Shoney's too. So
I don't even know if
Shoney's, I was upset for about 3 days.
Yep.
Do a Waffle House, not Waffle House, White Castle.
We need one of those down here too. I hate going all the way out to fucking Chicago for a White Castle.
They've got them in Chicago and also in St. Louis.
Yeah,
around St.
that's
Louis.
3 hours. That's 3 hours both ways.
And that's also the closest Waffle House is down down close to St. Louis.
We are fucking stuck in purgatory. This sucks.
I wouldn't say Peoria is exactly a food desert because we have a lot of different restaurants here, but it's never the restaurants you want. It's like,
no,
I want Cracker Barrel. Okay,
Morton.
You've got Cracker Barrel, Morton.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I've been to a Cracker Barrel down in Tennessee, and it's just different somehow. I don't know yet why, but it was just different.
Because they spit in it.
Yeah,
come on.
It's
that southern hospitality goes. There you go.
But no, yeah, I have to say you're right, Bruce. Gaming wise, Peoria spoils you. We have a solid game shop here that you can get all your gaming need. You can game there, and a lot of Peoria seems to be a gaming town. I talked to the guy who owns the game shop I'm talking about the new T-Mod fig, the one that are wanting $400 for.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's like, I've already sold like 4 of them. Like, Peoria, you've already sold 4 of them? It's like, yeah, it's a bigger gaming group than you think it is. I'm like, I guess.
And that's with also because they've got the second place. Well, they've got 3 game shops now in town. So
was it Cabbage and King or Cabbage or something like that?
Cabbages, just for fun, and then also Zeke's.
Well, Zeke's is in Washington.
You know, it's all part of the greater area. Anywhere you get to in 20 minutes is part of the same town.
Well, unfortunately, Nashville has the same feeling. Anywhere you can drive within 45 minutes, it's the same town. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But no.
I'll still say yeehaw.
Yeah.
With everything working out the way it did tonight, guys, and for those of you that are in chat, for those of you that are watching us on the restream, I really appreciate you guys stopping here. This was we hit a lot of different topics, and I'm always up to discuss things. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about hirelings and cohorts and leadership and things of that nature. Because
that'll be a much more focused topic, I hope.
I tonight was scattershot, and that was fine. The four of us getting together and talking shop and talking about the tables we used to play at together is always fun for me. Shawner Film says just Denny's here, and Shadzar's like the only place better than Waffle House for late night gaming is IHOP.
Yes,
I'm kind of burnt on IHOP, but I got my reasons.
IHOP has big tables. I'll say that much.
They do.
If you have a 5 pop, you can get a good table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I know, Connell, that you don't really do a lot of streaming, but
thinking about it,
I have to ask you, if you were to start making your own content,
oh God, save us all. Yeah.
What would you focus on?
Probably D&D, Pathfinder, the community, the type of people. What type of people would you want at your table? Where would you want your table located at? It be your home, his home, local library, the society of the games. Not so much the game by the rules, but just the society, the people that play it.
Okay. Blaine?
Yes.
What would your focus be on?
Oh, God. A lot of weird-ass ideas. I have a lot of highway driving time, so I think of a lot of strange things. I don't know if I have a single focus. I really wish I would, but I don't.
It's all right. You know, I came in here tonight not knowing really what we were going to focus on with the topic, and I rewound last week's stream, and we stumbled onto Half-Breeds and the Book of Exotic Fantasy, the Book of Erotic Fantasy, the best-selling third-party book for 3.0, I believe.
That made
It's
them
up there.
change the rules, so it'll never happen again.
It's up there.
Yeah, they'll never make a book like that again. They probably will, but you know,
Hold my beer.
it was a fun book to read.
It was.
I've got to say that we hit a lot of different topics. Next week, if it's more focused, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. Calvinani says he likes doing indie games and OSR stuff and miniatures. And Darth Thick is like, I have a PDF of that book.
I like miniature games. I like D&D or Pathfinder or any system that plays with miniatures. It helps my imagination to see what my character's doing, other than we're using mental theater. That doesn't work for me.
You're right. You're right there. Don't use focus and me in the same sentence.
Multi-Gunman, welcome back, and I hope that you enjoy the time we had here. Garrett, anything you want to talk about this week or that you have coming up on your own channel?
Well, it's not going to be on my primary channel. It's going to be on my gaming channel. I've already recorded it, and I've got it set to drop at 6 a.m. tomorrow Central Time.
Ooh,
Noon on in the GMT. The reason I left Twitch, this is the first TableBreakers that I've done where I've not multi-streamed. This is just straight onto YouTube.
Well, I hope this proves better for you.
This past week, I petitioned to have my affiliate removed. It was done within a half an hour. Not even. I got a exit survey of, well, how was your experience with it? Didn't
Terrible.
ask me why I gave up the affiliate. It didn't ask me any questions. So that's going to be on my gaming channel. If you guys are subscribed to my normal channel, you'll find the link in the description of
Why don't you
this
post your link
actual-
in our chat here,
I am waiting to watch that,
or
honestly.
post it in the private chat, and I'll put it in.
Well, I got to get back there. Hold on.
Is that playing card you have?
Yes, I'm fidgety. My hands need something to do.
I need to get a new deck of 3 Dragon Annie.
There is my gaming side
Thank you.
and everything else. After the first of the year, I'm really going to be starting to hit that pretty hard here with more gaming content and whatnot. So if you enjoy that type of thing, definitely check me out there. I'm going to also be doing this, so I'm kind of pulling a little bit of double duty with I said duty with the tabletop side and also the gaming, the actual PC slash I've got a Switch and a PS4 and all that I can connect into and do stuff. So I'm going to be starting that probably here in the next week or two. I've just taken a little bit of time off of doing that just so I can kind of get a few things, square with myself and whatnot. But definitely, I doubt that it'll really do anything, but if it can open up at least one person's eyes on the way that Twitch actually handles certain things, then yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
The one thing I want to do this week, aside from tomorrow when the episode 4 of the season 6 of The Expanse comes out, I want to watch that. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's
Watch that one.
I've got to say that I love The Expanse.
Don't watch Bird Brain. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great show. It looks like it's actually going to wrap up with an actual plot, unlike another show with many different factions and many different actors and many locations that wrapped up with a giant stinking turd after 8 seasons. So, no, The Expanse is good, and I can't wait for that. Also, there was a character from an old company called TSR. The CEO of that company has made a lot of weird web appearances lately on Discords, on different channels, on YouTube. He just seems like he's just he gets online when he probably should be in bed. And he was affiliated with a game called Giant Lands, and it recently was released. And I haven't watched an unboxing video of it yet, but a friend or an acquaintance of mine, because I don't know Crafty that well. I like Crafty, I really do, but I have not listened to his rant on the unboxing. His camera died in the middle of the unboxing or at the start of the unboxing, and
No,
he
that was
ranted.
Max.
What?
That was Max.
That was Max.
That was Max. I thought it was Crafty.
No, it was Max. Crafty just posted stuff into the Gatekeepers Discord.
Okay. Well, I remember Crafty had posted stuff about it, but yeah, that's right. Max had posted that his camera failed, and I haven't gone on locals yet. Yeah,
he also I think he put it in Discord too.
Yep. Justin Lanasa attacked us on last week's Gatekeepers stream over the term RPG versus tabletop RPG. And, that's really just not a hill that I'm willing to.
Oh, yeah, when I hosted. Not this past week, the week before, yeah.
I'm not willing to die on that because it's a nothing burger. And the guy came in and he was swinging like a schlup. Then he went over to Tin Car's Tavern stream on Christmas Day. And Tin Car had his 13-year-old niece on there. Little cute kid. I mean, and he acted like a fool in the comment section, ripping open Tin Car. Hey, you only got 13 views. Look at the lame hero you are. And then he starts going after the content of it, and he made himself look really bad. And
I
I
missed
was
all
saying,
somehow I missed all of this, but
well, it's part of a real small part of my periphery that I pay attention to, thanks to Discord. But I don't know Tin Car that well. I respect the guy because he is a retired NYPD guy, and
yeah.
he enjoys a lot of things about the gaming scene. He doesn't really allow politics in his Discord, so you have to respect that. His house, his rules. So some people have a problem with that, but as far as being a man, Tin Car seems to be really solid. He really does. And it really upset me that Lanasa goes into a comment section where 11-year-old girl's at, and he just starts acting like a belligerent fool. And this isn't the first time that Lanasa has done this. And the barbs that Tin Car was throwing back seem to have a edge, like there's a history between them. They might know each other from just more than being on the internet. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But Tin Car knew enough about him to where he hasn't returned back and deleted comments. But I'm very disappointed in a company that bought the TSR logo and was promising TSR like experiences, like we're going to sell role-playing games again. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And every time they have something, they make a press release about it, and then that turns to shit. And this is something I've been wanting to talk about just for a minute, and maybe you guys don't know about it, or maybe you don't care. Garrett, I know you've made videos on it.
Yeah, I've kind of backed off those just because, especially after he came in and started doing that in my Gatekeeper stream.
Well, I mean,
that was not a thing. Excuse the usage, but the word usage here, but that was not a cross you needed to come in and die on my stream, and and he kind of was trying to do that. So I'm backing off of those and whatnot, and just kind of just for the simple fact of I really did not appreciate that, but and I really
it put
haven't
you on the
talked
map,
about
and
it.
I guess it made you a target.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got a few views out of it. I think I got like 30 or 40 views out of each one of those. I put up 2 of them. I was all happy because I got like 30 views.
Hello, Captain
I'm
Trek.
a channel. I'm a channel starting out. Of course, I'm going to get happy at a few views on something like that. But
Exactly.
it is it's I was kind of going in for a little bit of the shock and awe factor with it, and I kind of got it, but I didn't like the other crap that came with it, so I backed off of it.
Oh, I'm just gonna post this, and I don't like Justin Lanasa. From what I've learned about him, from what I saw in their own Discord, there's nothing I can gain by endorsing their products or by saying they're nice people. Even members of the quote unquote the right, center right, the extreme right side of the political gaming spectrum distances themselves from Lanasa. And it's like every time the guy opens his mouth, he just kind of buries himself a little deeper. And I just wish he would just, I don't say this about a lot of people, but he can go away and I wouldn't miss much. I wouldn't miss anything. It'd be like, oh, that boil went away. Oh, that's great. I can sit down now. But I don't find him to be a company that I want to get behind. And I wish I could say differently, but man, everything they've touched has turned to shit. It's just my thoughts. Maybe that's the wrong way to end a TableBreakers stream, but
No.
I felt it was important enough for me to talk about, because this is only 3 or 4 days after Lanasa made an ass of himself at Tin Cars in the comment section, and a week after he made an ass of himself at Garrett's stream. Yeah, and TSR is fulfilling orders. They refuse to refund any money from anybody that ordered anything through TSR3. they're not giving you your money back. So if you bought something from them, you're going to get product. You're going to get a product that you probably won't like too. So just keep your money. If you like the TSR logo, you can go to a pawn shop and find an old D&D module or box set, and you can buy that, and you can look at it with fond memories and be like, when you were a kid, things were different. You were probably happier.
Or you can Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it. You can look at that and it'd be happier, but don't order from TSR3 because everything they've produced so far is only for PR release, it seems like. And I hate to say that, but I'm equating Justin Lanasa to Jessica Price, the bottom tier of the gaming spectrum. Sorry, kids. And I'm not sorry, Justin. Fuck you. So, with that, this week...
right, I've got one more thing.
Go ahead.
Gatekeepers this next week is going to be on the 5th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be hosted by the man behind the screen. So I've not gotten what he's going to do yet, but he's going to be doing that this coming Wednesday. So definitely make sure you do check that out. Also, don't forget about the Legion of Myth, the RPG Digest. I believe they're coming back on Sunday, or no? Are they taking 2 weeks off? Bruce?
Well, I'm just clicking through the chat here, and it's good to see Captain Trek pop in. He's a real nice guy. He's a miniature enthusiast, like myself. Yeah, he's big.
Bruce, do you know if Legion of Myth's doing digest this week or not? Or are they off again?
I don't know if they're doing a digest this week, but I do know tomorrow at 7, LOM, Legion of Myth, our friends Max and others are going to be there for their chill stream.
Yes.
Garrett,
if
you go to the LOM site, you can post their link in the chat so people will know it, and I'll put it up there. I'll blast it on the billboard. That's where I plan to be at tomorrow night, is just kind of hanging out there, painting. And yeah, that's the other thing. Mr. Calvinani brings up a really good... Yeah, they did a fundraiser to raise money to sue Wizards of the Coast. I wish I could make that shit up.
And then they said that any money left over, they were going to erect statues at the museum to the people who what was it? The people who started the original TSR. So Gary, Mark Arneson, and all those guys.
Give us money so we can throw it at lawyers and then not have any money left. Thank you.
Yeah, I was actually just reading an article about that, and just fucking wow. That's all I can always say is fucking wow.
Yep. All right.
I want new managers so I can paint.
I think we've kind of exhausted everything. Boys, you guys have anything else?
I'm going to put Captain Trek's link in the channel there, the channel chat. And I'm going to tell you guys that just, not really you four that are here. Maybe you guys in the chat already know this, but if somebody's telling you what to think, how to think, you probably need to distance yourself a little bit and really weigh the options that you have in life, because you're in a position to where you're being influenced too much and you need to be thinking for yourself. If you're not thinking for yourself, you're going to make bad decisions. You're going to have a lighter wallet than you want. You're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do. And I hate to tell people to be selfish, but really, you need to be having this life go on with your best interests. If you're not, you really have to question yourself, why am I in this hamster wheel? That's all I really have to conclude with. New Year's Eve, tomorrow night, everybody, if you can be safe, be safe. If you are bound and determined to wreck yourself with alcohol or physical abuse, we probably can't stop you, but you should probably talk to somebody about this that's close to you, that can stop you, and give you some options like, listen, we're just going to have a few Zimas or Tequizas. Maybe we're going to have some Aftershock whiskey, but we're not going to inflict great harm on our liver. let's think about this. It's only 2022, not 2025, not year 2000, not the year 2050. Not cause for a huge celebration. Be careful, guys.
And if you do go out and do drink, remember there are services out there that can take you home, pick you up. Just be safe out there. Don't drink and drive.
Be responsible. Remember, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah. That's,
Captain Trek, you've got a good growing channel, and I know your channel. It's a good place to hang out and just let time pass while I paint miniatures and let you stream or do things. So, anyway, everyone, it was a pleasure being here. We will be back here 7:30 CST next week, January the 6th. We will be more than happy to entertain you with our shenanigans and our random outbursts of chat. Thank you, and we will see you later.
Have a great night, everybody.
good night.